What is up, Buffalo Fanatics? Z-Bot here with you. Live on a mother effing Buffalo Bills game day. We are 40 minutes removed from Bills Dolphins in Week 10 as the Buffalo Bills look to win 8 consecutive games against Miami and improve to 7-2. If you are watching me, you might also be watching Colts Falcons live in Berlin right now. The Atlanta Falcons are on the goal line. This is somewhat big, right? We're getting into the second half of the season here. These things start to matter. What the outside is doing starts to matter as the Bills make their run for their playoff seeding and hopefully the 1 seed. The Indianapolis Colts here on the precipice of potentially losing to the Atlanta Falcons. So this game, the Colts have not looked good at all. The Colts have really not looked good. Daniel Jones has not looked good at all. Jonathan Taylor just bailed them out with an 83-yard rushing touchdown their previous drive, but Atlanta driving now, looking to take the lead. This would knock the Colts to 7-3. If the Bills win this afternoon against the Miami Dolphins, they're at 7-2. And you're starting to feel better about making this push towards the 1 seed even more. And it looks like Atlanta just got in. All right, so touchdown Atlanta, minute 44 remaining in that football game. The touchdown's going to give them 24 with the extra point. Oh, no, they're going to go for 2, of course, to make it a 25-22 game. So we'll dive into the Bills game in just a second, but I want to see what happens here because this is somewhat pivotal. This is somewhat pivotal for the 1 seed. Actually, it's pretty pivotal. I think that we watched Denver the other night, by the way. We watched Denver on Thursday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders. That defense is elite. The Denver Broncos offense is threatening nobody. Nobody is threatened by that Denver Broncos offense. Nobody's scared by that offense. That's not a championship caliber offense. The defense is extraordinary. They're not good enough, in my opinion, to make a legitimate run with that offense. It's just not good. And they've won 3 games, I believe, this year, scoring less than 20 points. No other team. I think all the rest of the teams in the NFL combined have 3 wins with the same amount of points. So it's just not sustainable. They're in the 1 seed right now. You got the Colts right behind them. And if they lose this game, the Bills would surpass them. Now, we just got the 2-point conversion from Atlanta. So if Atlanta can hang on and win this football game, this is a good start to your Week 10 Sunday, folks. Here's what we're looking for today. We're obviously looking for a Bills beatdown on the road in Miami. Would be their 8th consecutive win against the Miami Dolphins. Josh Allen, 14-2 all-time against this team, looking to go 15-2. The only 2 times the Bills have lost to the Dolphins, by the way, with Josh Allen, were both on the road. So guess one little thing that is going in the direction of Miami perhaps today. The rest of it, however, is not seemingly going in the direction of Miami. The Buffalo Bills have the better football team in pretty much every facet. When you're looking at all of the analytics, all of the numbers from one unit to the next, the Bills are the better unit in just about every single category. So you're looking for a Bills W today, obviously. Then you're looking for a Tampa Bay Buccaneers W as well. They are a 2.5-point home favorite against the New England Patriots this afternoon. Pretty sizable swing in the playoff market with a Bills W and a Patriots loss. The Bills gain about a 15% advantage in winning the AFC East with that scenario. Currently, New York Times has them, the Bills that is, with a 41% chance to win the AFC East. With a win today, and, oh, man. Wow. Colts just ran it back to like the 50 on the kickoff after Atlanta took the 3-point lead. So, essentially, all Indianapolis needs to do here is get about 10 yards. Their kicker, however, has already missed a field goal and an extra point. Nothing's given here. Daniel Jones has not been playing well. The last 2 games, he has not been playing well at all. But anyway, the Bills have a massive, they gained a massive leap in the AFC East odds with a win and a Patriots loss. They would go from a 41% chance to right around a 56% chance. So a pretty sizable swing if that can end up going down today. And based on the market, that's what's favored to go down today. That's what we're rooting for to go down today. All right. So here we go. Let's run through the final minute and a half here. Why not? We have a minute and a half left. Indianapolis down 3 points to the Atlanta Falcons, 25-22. 1st and 10, Daniel Jones tries to connect with Tyler Warren, who has been a beast in his rookie year. Great pass breakup by Atlanta to force the incompletion. So it's 2nd and 10 in Berlin. This is going to open up the door even wider for the Bills to make their run towards the 1 seed. Jerry, I'm seeing your comments. Z-Bot, Jalen Waddle. That's my next topic. Don't you worry. Right when this game concludes, I want to see how this goes down. Right when this game concludes, we will be discussing the breaking news out of Buffalo this morning about how active Brandon Beane really was before the bye and how disappointing it is to find out how close, or maybe not close, but at least, the fact that the Bills were in the running for 2 really top-tier players at their respective positions. We'll dive into it right now because they're doing a review. So if you haven't heard, the Buffalo Bills have a little added incentive to beat Miami's Fins in today. And that's because it was found out, reported by multiple sources, including Tom Pelissero, who confirmed it on his Twitter account. The Buffalo Bills were all in on 2 big-name players within the AFC East at the 2 positions in which you thought the Bills were going to be searching for additions at this trade deadline. And that is the wide receiver position and the defensive line position. The Buffalo Bills, do you have to say allegedly, or this is a fact based on how it was reported? I mean, I guess it's a fact. The Buffalo Bills offered the Miami Dolphins their 2027 first-round pick and their 2026 third-round pick for Jalen Waddle. And the Dolphins told him to play in the street. They said no. Apparently, the Dolphins wanted the first-round pick to be the 2026 pick. And I don't quite understand that if that's what really didn't get it done, because the Bills' 2026 first-round pick is going to be what? At best, the 25th pick. At best, Atlanta Falcons sack. Atlanta Falcons sack on 2nd and 10. Let's go. Massive sack. Daniel Jones has been taking them all game. He's been getting beat up, strip sack, interception the last 2 weeks, where it feels like you have this resurrection of Daniel Jones here. I know they're 7-2. And he'd been playing well up until that point, but you're starting to see some flashes here of that New York Giants Daniel Jones that obviously led to him getting moved off of in the middle of his contract, or the middle of a season. I mean, he's camping in the pocket, taking sacks. 5 turnovers last week. He's got a strip sack today and a pick. It's now 3rd and 21, $1:27 remaining in the game. Indianapolis out of timeouts, 25-22 Atlanta. They would need about 20 yards to get into field goal range, so they pretty much need this first down. Here's the 3rd and 20. Jones steps up, nothing. He scrambles. Jones past the line of scrimmage, 5, 10, 15, 20-yard gain on a Daniel Jones scramble. It's going to be, now it's about a 19-yard gain. It's going to be like 4th and 2. Unbelievable. How the hell do you let Daniel Jones scramble for 19 yards on 3rd and 21? This isn't Lamar Jackson. Are you kidding? Wow, so they let Daniel Jones essentially take it to the sticks. He's a couple yards short. This will be the game. I doubt they trot out a field goal here. It would be like a 60-yarder. Yep, here's the game. 4th and 2 from the 40-yard line. If the Colts convert it, they'll be able to have a chance to tie it. If not, the ball game's over. Jones throws, caught. Oh, my God, Tyler Warren. What a stud. Unbelievable. Daniel Jones to the left side, under siege immediately. Wow, he's bleeding from his mouth. Daniel Jones leaking blood from his mouth after that previous sack. Hits Tyler Warren, who just suns the defender. I mean, he's got a guy a quarter the size of him on him. Absolutely suns him, grabs it, throws him off him like a dog flicking off a tick, and gets about 10 yards. Wow. So now the Colts are on the 30-yard line, a minute 11 remaining, down by 3. That was huge. Daniel Jones under pressure, just dumps it off. Wow, he's gushing blood from his mouth. Daniel Jones. Jones backs up, throws, incomplete to Pierce on the left side. Wow. Wow, look at this. Look at Jones's lips. Are you guys seeing this? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He looks like the Joker. Holy crap. Both of his lips are just covered in blood. Oh my God. He's in pain. He's hurting. Is he going to be able to pull it off? At the minimum, they're going to be able to tie it. 2nd and 10, minute 7 left. Daniel Jones takes the snap under pressure, immediately sacked. I mean, this Atlanta pass rush is no joke. I mean, we know that better than anybody. Us Buffalo Bills fans, we know how good this Atlanta Falcons pass rush is. But he hasn't had. I mean, this has been all game, really. They haven't had anything in the pass game. I mean, this is no gimme for this kicker. He's been off today. He misses an extra point. He missed a 53-yard field goal short. You don't see that anymore. You don't miss kicks getting left short. All right, here we go. Throw to Pittman. About an 8-yard gain. 28 seconds left. Oh shit! They got it. They got to run the kicking crew out here now. That was 3rd down. They can't spike it. Why would Atlanta call a timeout? What? I don't understand why Atlanta would give them the ability to bring the kicking unit out there with ease. Why would you call a timeout if you're Atlanta there? It was 3rd down. The Colts are out of timeouts. They had 20 seconds left to get their kicking unit out there, set up and kick the football. I don't understand why you call a timeout there if you're Atlanta. 25-22, 29 seconds remaining. I mean, I guess if Atlanta, I guess I do get it. If Atlanta wants to try and go and win it with 30 seconds left, but I don't know if that's their bag, but whatever. 44-yarder to tie it. Here it is. Snap, hold. Kick is up, and it is good. 25-25. 25-25, 25 seconds left. Atlanta has 2 timeouts. So, yeah, I guess I get why they're calling the timeout there. I didn't realize they had 2 timeouts. But then again, I don't think Michael Penix is getting you in the field goal range here with 25 seconds left. This feels like this is going to overtime. Anyhow, so the Bills, Dolphins, obviously, we're about a half an hour away, a little less than. So the Bills were in on making deals. Unfortunately, the teams that were selling were in the Bills division, especially the Jets. Now, I don't know what the compensation was that was offered to the Jets, but apparently the Bills were in on getting Quinnen Williams, who wound up going to Dallas for, I believe, a 1st and a 2nd. So apparently Brandon Beane was not messing around. Brandon Beane was willing to unload at least a 1st round and at least a 3rd round from what we've heard in terms of the Waddle offer. I got to give credit to Miami for not moving him to Buffalo. I wouldn't have done it either. There's no chance in hell I'm doing that. I'm seeing people online saying this is how bad teams stay bad. Well, so be it. If that's, I'll move them somewhere else. If I need to acquire draft picks, I will move them somewhere else. And that's for a few reasons, personally. One, the number one, the 1st round pick you're getting from Buffalo, it isn't all that great. In comparison to where Miami typically drafts, that's essentially an early 2nd round pick for this team, right? I don't think it's the most incredible move to take a 1st rounder from the Bills, which is going to be a late 20s pick, then having to face that guy twice a year against a team that you have struggled against more than any other team in the NFL. If the Bills beat the Dolphins this afternoon, they will be 15-2 against them since Josh Allen came into the NFL. And you're going to give him Jalen Waddle? I mean, that would have been cause for mutiny if I were a Miami Dolphins fan, personally. I mean, I would have lost my mind. If I was a Dolphin, oh my God. Atlanta just had like a 15-yard gain that would have put them near, the midfield, and it was just flat out drop. Mooney dropped. They're not going to do anything with this. 15 seconds, 2 timeouts. They're not going to do anything with this. Come on. They're not winning in overtime, too. You know it. You just know it. Yeah, they're cooked. I mean, that's a grounding. That's grounding, too. You just know they're not going to win this in overtime. Atlanta, right? There's no chance. Anyway, I'm seeing people like kind of think Miami was wrong for turning that down. Now look at if like I don't know, Carolina offers you that deal, maybe you take it. You know my thoughts. How irate I was when the Bills traded their draft pick just a few spots to allow Kansas City to draft Xavier Worthy. I'm out on benefiting a rival of mine at all in any capacity. To me, this would be like I said, grounds for mutiny if I'm a Dolphins fan, or just grounds for like literally bailing ship on the fandom, on the organization. Josh Allen has over 4,300 yards against you, nearly 50 total touchdowns, nearly 5,000 total yards, 109 passer rating, and a 14-2 record. You simply cannot give him one of your best players, a homegrown player. You just can't. It would have had to have been an offer like Indianapolis made to the Jets where you just can't refuse it. Like that came out where there was no shopping of Sauce Gardner. The Colts just made an offer that the Jets couldn't refuse. And to be honest, I think the Jets won that trade. I think noticeably they won that trade. Now, of course, if the Colts go and win a Super Bowl and Sauce Gardner plays lockdown D in the playoffs, maybe we're having a different conversation. But the Jets, it's well known they're 1-7. They're not going to win with Sauce Gardner, regardless of how good he is. Now they have 5 first-round draft picks over the next 2 years. I give them credit for making that move. Now, if Miami were to acquire an additional first-round pick, fine, but you're going to have it in the late 20s, and you're going to have to play that same player in Jalen Waddle twice a year, every year, and it's a team that is more or less completely dominated you. So, I mean, I love the effort. I would have loved to have had Jalen Waddle on this football team. I mean, Jalen Waddle instantly takes what already is, according to the numbers, one of the best offenses in football and transcends it into an entirely new level. And, he's been good with Tua. I think he would be exceptional with Josh Allen. It reminds you of like, you go you wake up Christmas morning, you go out to the Christmas tree and the top items you had on your Christmas list aren't there. And you're like, oh, it's all right, whatever. I mean, you can't get everything you asked for. But then you find out the next day after Christmas is over that, mom and dad actually went to go get you the PS5 and the new iPhone, but they were already, the store didn't want to sell them to them because they already had them committed to, I don't know, or other pre-orders, or they were sold out or something. It's almost like you would have rather have just not known that you weren't going to get them, or there was a potential to get them. You go under the Christmas tree, the gifts that you want aren't there. All right, fine, I'll live with it. You'd almost rather not know that you should have or could have had them and it just didn't work out. That's kind of how I felt this morning. I mean, I'm over the Bills not making a move at the trade deadline. I'm over it. Would I have liked it? Yeah. But there wasn't a ton of guys that were moved to contending teams, at least the teams that are going to be contending with the Buffalo Bills in the AFC. And at the positional groups of need, I mean, I would have liked to have, the only one that I would have liked to have countered on would have been probably Rashid Shaheed. I would have probably done a slightly better offer to him in New Orleans than I would have that of Seattle's. But at the end of the day, I don't look at the trade deadline to be this nail in the coffin for the Bills. I would have loved to have for them to have gotten better at that time. But now you're finding out that they tried to. It just didn't work. And this is where I was at. I didn't want the Bills to make a move at the deadline just for the sake of saying that they did. I wanted it to be a move like what was rumored to have come out today. I wanted it to be a move that involved a first rounder and another pick, because that means you are making a significant move, a serious move. So I'm glad that was the approach. And Brandon Beane didn't end up settling and giving up a random pick for a guy that wasn't going to be impactful. Waddle would have been impactful, clearly. And Quinnen Williams, a 3-time Pro Bowler, would have been impactful, especially with the injuries I mean, he would have been impactful regardless, but when you factor in the injuries to Hoyt and Ed Oliver, it would have been even more impactful. But I got to give credit to the Jets and the Jets and the Dolphins for not making those moves with Brandon Beane. I think a sign of a bad team would be to make that move, to be 100% honest. I think it would be a bad move to make that trade if you're either of those organizations. The Buffalo Bills are a Grand Canyon gap away from you in terms of the competitiveness level, not only within the division, but of course throughout the grand scheme of things in the AFC. And you're going to give them added advantage for a first-round draft pick that, based on where you've been picking, like the Jets and the Dolphins, the Jets in particular, based on where you've been picking consistently and have not been able to advance your team with those high picks, you think a late 20s first round is going to be what changes everything around? I doubt it. Meanwhile, you got to go up against that guy 2 times a year with a team that's been routinely kicking your ass. But man, would I have loved to have gotten one of those 2 guys. I mean, my God, I would have absolutely have loved that. Really, Jalen Waddle, man, I would have loved that. If we could have found a way, I mean, especially playing Miami this afternoon, if the Bills could have found a way to get, man, that would have been something. All right, overtime has just kicked off in Berlin, Atlanta, Indianapolis, and the Falcons have the ball first. Let's see what they can do with it as that's going down. My main man, Money Mitch, Lead Lobster, coming in with the super chat saying, I think we tried to make some moves. We have to remember our picks aren't as valuable as a winning organization. That said, I think we could have been a bit more aggressive, but final score 31-14, go Bills. And I'm not saying the last part, but Mitch, how about my Nittany Lions yesterday? Did you see that? Oh, Mitch, did you see that? The catch of the year, maybe in both the NFL and college, came at the expense of my Penn State Nittany Lions. On Saturday afternoon, Indiana, 3rd down, desperate throw to the back of the end zone. Just an unbelievable play that resulted in a catch that defied physics and allowed the Indiana Hoosiers to beat my Penn State Nittany Lions, which would have been a program-altering W, really. It really would have been. Oh, look at Rico. He wants to come on for the last 3 minutes. Yay, look at him, look at him. Oh, look at him. Rico, you're here. It's perfect time. We're watching if the Indianapolis Colts can start our day off right. Are you keeping an eye on this?
I was keeping an eye on it in the car, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. They let Danny Jones get in range on freaking 4th and whatever. Come on, fellas. You got to be better than that. So what's it looking like now? Because I had to turn it off. What are we at?
It's in overtime. The Falcons have it, and it's not looking good. Michael Penix is throwing it to the guys working the hot dog carts in section 202. So I think we're not looking good here. I just knew the second this went to overtime, Rico, they weren't going to win it.
Well, listen, Michael Penix, man, like this guy, like he needs to be better. He needs to be better for the Atlanta Falcons. Like you had an opportunity to take down the Colts, but man, Jonathan Taylor is something else.
Oh, what a beast. Another 200-yard day. Longest run of his career to get in the end zone. I will say, though, the numbers are even more impressive for Cook when you realize that Jonathan Taylor hasn't had his bye week yet. Because James Cook was like 40 yards shy of Jonathan Taylor going into today with the bye already.
With the bye. So,
yeah.
That means and here's the great thing. Our boy is going home. He's going to Florida. So he's going to put on a show.
You think so, or you think with him being banged up this past week, they're going to monitor that? I mean, I don't know. This game feels weird to me, Rico. Not in the sense that the Bills are going to lose, but it just feels like off.
You tell me something, Mr. Bot. You're from the what? 585? Is that your area code?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. You've been away for forever, and you get to go home and play in the 5-5 in front of your Rochesterians, or what do you call it? The Rock folk?
Rochesterians?
Rochesterians? You're going to go ham. I don't care if you have a banged up thumb
I'm on leash.
Whatever. You're going to grab that lacrosse stick and you're going to be doing all that stuff. Dude, you're going to go off. So he's going to Florida. He doesn't get a chance to go to Florida. He's going off. James Cook is going off. $150 today. What about that?
I would sign up for that any day of the week. I think if they give him a full workload, that's on the precipice.
You see,
that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering.
That's a good point because they might not give him a full workload. But I mean, listen, if the shoe fits, let that brother go off, man. Let that brother go off.
No, I 100% agree with you. If they give him a full workload, he'll have a day. That's where I'm wondering. And I got to be honest with you, I'm hoping he doesn't get a full workload. I want this game to be 28-3 going into the fourth and Cook's hanging out. That's what I'd like to have.
All right, listen, I'll take a win any way I can. And where I listen, you made such a compelling argument for, like, listen, the Bills are not out of it, man. We could not only take this East, but we have an opportunity to, push this number one seed. It's not over yet, baby. It's not over yet. We still got a shot. Half
the crowd's going home with souvenirs at this game. Michael Penix is putting the ball in the stands. I mean, we got guys wide open on the sidelines. It's not even close. He's not even close.
Kirk would have put you on the spot. And the thing is, it's like, take away Drake London. I mean, Darnell Mooney didn't help him with that stupid bobble and drop. You kidding me? You needed that. No, not going to cut it.
So it's 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12. They need to get a first here, or I think they're cooked. So here it is. And Penix sacked for a 15-yard loss. I mean, whatever. I will say this, though, even though if the Colts are going to win here, the Denver Broncos, that ain't it right now. In Indianapolis the last 2 weeks, I think they've shown you some cracks in the armor here, especially at quarterback. So the Bills win today, Rico. Patriots lose. I'm feeling really good about the situation moving forward and the ability for the Bills to sort of make their run at this one seed here.
Yeah.
You feeling the same way?
I'm more optimistic about it. I wasn't like, listen, tell me after the Panthers game, I would have said, I still don't believe in the Bills. I still am not seeing it. But that Bills Chiefs game was convincing enough for me to say, hold on now. I think they're back with some chemistry. So hopefully we see some things going. You know what? I do have a beef though. I got to share my beef before we all step out here. 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, we were all Bills fans. I can't say we were all, but we were all like, oh, we need a receiver. We need a receiver. We need a receiver. It was all about a need for a receiver. Now that the trade deadline's over with, all of a sudden people are coming, their minds are clear now. They're like, well, you know what? We necessarily don't need a receiver because we pretty much have everything here. We just need to execute more. Duh. We already had the pieces. You just have to just believe in the pieces you have, and your quarterback has to play better. But all of a sudden, well, I mean, we do have Curtis Samuel. We do have the speed. We've been having the speed. We just haven't been utilizing them. But all of a sudden, it's an epiphany that we could use. Come on, man. I just it doesn't bug me. I find it hilarious. That's all. It's hilarious.
What did you make of the potential of getting Waddle and Quinn Williams there?
I thought that was interesting. Hey, he went for a swing. He swung hard.
Yeah,
he swung.
I kept saying though, I give Miami credit for. I'm never making that move if I'm Miami.
I would never too. Where's your
never
the team that you've been getting beat down by for years? You're about to give them a weapon? Are you kidding me? Just to spite them, I'd say no. Quinn and Williams, on the other hand, do you want to give it to the Bills? Like, if Miami called for Quinnen, maybe the Jets would have said, oh, let's talk. But the fact that the Bills were calling for Quinn and Williams, bro, no.
And the Cowboys offer was just better. It was a first and a second, and it's going to be their first. So that's going to be maybe a top 10 pick.
And here's my big thing. Not that he would have, but would you say Brandon Beane focused so much on those guys and just didn't bother with anybody else? Did he just want those guys and that's what it was? I wonder, because like, did you just focus on that basket and you thought they were really going to give it up? Because like, they're in the same division. Nobody does that. Nobody trades within the division. It's hard for someone to do that. So he swung, he missed.
Same thing, Rico. But then again, I'm wondering to myself, like, were there other legitimate top tier guys available? Like, because you saw Miami trade Jalen Phillips, and then you're thinking to yourself, oh, they're selling, right? They just fired the JGM.
Right.
Then you see the Jets trade Sauce Gardner, and you're like, oh, they're selling. So I think that you probably try with them despite being within the division because you know they're incentivized to sell right now, and they are. I see Tank coming in here. Olave might have been another one that we know he tried to go after. Maybe he went aggressively and it just didn't work out. But who else was really rumored, Rico, to be like available that way? And I don't think many people were.
Olave.
That was it, right?
Olave and Shaheed, but like a fourth and a fifth for Shaheed. Did you guys not even bother?
I would have. That's what I said. I would have done a third and a fifth for Shaheed.
Third and a fifth. this is the tough part. A third and a fifth, if you're giving up the third and the fifth, and I know it seems like that's peanuts, but a third rounder today should contribute to your team and be an asset. So if you give a third and a fifth, you better be willing to use this guy and actually put him in place to succeed, and B, get that contract going because you're going to re-sign him next year. So, like, not use him and then not sign him, that would have been a waste, and then everybody would have been like, well, that's you gave him a third and a fifth for Shaheed. He's only on the team. Yo, beat the bum. We would have heard all that.
You'd obviously have to plan to retain him. The Colts down to the 10, Rico. They are going to win this game in Berlin, move to 8-2. So all we can hope for is the Bills continue to rock and roll. Speaking of rock and roll, have you put in a sleeper slip yet, Rico, for the game?
No, I have not. Shall we dive into that?
I think we should, because I haven't dove in yet, Rico, and I feel like we should. By the way, over on Sleeper right now, link in the description below. Click that, sign up, boom. You get an instant free $20 entry. You can use it on today's game or any of the games today or throughout the rest of the season. Once you've used your free $20, use the promo code BF25. That'll get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. All right, Rico, let's take a peek here.
While you take a peek and you get that Kraken, what are your did the Colts look beatable in the chat, by the
Absolutely.
way? Did the Colts look beatable? Were they like, bro, if the Bills have to play the Colts, we'll handle it, no problem? Did Danny Diamond look like Danny Nichols, or was he Diamond?
He looked like Danny Pennies today for a good amount of it, to be honest with you. The last 2 weeks, he's got like 7 turnovers in the last 2 weeks.
Okay, so it should go back to stopping the run. Stop Jonathan Taylor. Let him become a manager. And I don't really think that they have receivers out the wazoo out there that I'm so scared of. I'm not really scared of Alec Pierce. I'm not really scared of Pittman. I don't really see
he had a good day.
Pittman.
Tyler Warren's their key. And then it's Taylor, though. It's Taylor, though, Rico. That's the guy. You got to stop him.
And then Warren. Well, shoot. Hey, listen. The AFC is wide open. Wide open. Let's go.
All right, I was gonna build a slip, but my computer keeps glitching out. But anyway, you know the drill. Be a sleeper. Link in the description below. Free $20. Then you will also get a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Codes BF25. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Rico, 9 minutes till kick. What? Oh, he scored. Oh, it's already over.
Great for fantasy for me. Great.
Hey, and great for not for the Bills. Thanks a lot thanks for nothing, Atlanta. You've done everything this year to screw us. Today, beating us, whatever. Rico, 9 minutes till kick. What goes down in Miami this afternoon?
What goes down in Miami? This should be a continuation of domination for the Bills. Josh Allen, and they just seem to figure things out. But more importantly, the defense knows Tua. That's what it comes down to. Take away Devin A-Chain, take that, and we're better on the run defense and bracket Waddle. We should have this game in a bag early third and call it a day. Tua should not have a good game today. I don't care if it's in Miami. I don't care wherever it is. We should be able to dominate this game. This is a 2-score. To me, I think it's a 10-point win for the Bills.
Ooh, baby. Sounds good to me. I got 34-17, the double up. Give it to me. Go. Hoping that's what we get. Hoping we get a W. Hoping you join us to discuss a W post game. Rico and I back at you right where you're at right now on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. Following the conclusion of Bills Dolphins. During Bills Dolphins, make sure to stay right where you're at and hang out with Pierre for the live game stream. But in the meantime, that's going to do it for us on the pregame show. We will see you afterwards. Enjoy the game. Rico, Bot, we're out. Much love. Go Bills.